My name is Daniel. I live in a small house on a quiet street. My life is simple. I wake up early, I drink coffee, I check my mailbox every morning. It is a small habit, but I like it. It makes me feel calm. It makes me feel ready for the day. My mailbox is near the road, just in front of my house. It is not far, maybe 10 steps from my door. Every morning, I walk there slowly. I look at the sky. I feel the fresh air. I enjoy that small moment. It is my peaceful time. But one day, something strange happened. When I walked to my mailbox, I saw something on the ground. I stopped. I looked down. It was dog poop, right next to my mailbox. Very close. Too close. I felt a little annoyed, just a little. I thought maybe it was an accident. Maybe someone did not see it. Maybe they forgot to clean it. I did not want to think badly about people. I tried to stay calm, so I stepped around it. I took my mail. I went back inside. But the next day, it happened again. I walked to my mailbox. I looked down. There it was again, fresh, smelly, in the same place. I felt confused. I felt a little angry. I thought, why here? Why my mailbox? Again, I tried to stay calm. I told myself, it is just bad luck. It will stop. But it did not stop. Every morning it was there. Same place. Same problem. Day after day. I started to feel tired. I felt tired of stepping around it. I felt tired of holding my breath. I felt tired of cleaning my shoes if I stepped too close. It was not just about the mess. It was about respect. It was my house, my space. My small, peaceful moment was gone. One morning, I decided to watch from my window. I woke up early. I did not go outside. I stood near the window with my coffee. I waited. I felt a little nervous. I felt a little curious. Then I saw him. A man was walking down the street. He had a big dog. The dog looked strong and happy. It moved slowly, sniffing the ground. The man was looking at his phone. He did not look around. He did not look at anything. I watched closely. The dog came near my mailbox. It stopped. It turned in a circle. Then it did it. Right there, in the same place. I felt my face get hot. I felt angry. I felt very angry. The man looked back for 1 second, just 1 second. Then he looked away. He started walking again like nothing happened. I could not believe it. I opened my door fast. I walked outside. My heart was beating fast. I called out to him. "Hey," I said. He stopped. He turned around slowly. "Yes?" he said. I pointed at the ground. "Your dog," I said. "You forgot something." He looked at the ground. Then he looked at me. His face was calm, too calm. "I don't have a bag," he said. I stared at him. I did not understand. "What?" I asked. "I don't have a bag," he said again, like it was normal, like it was okay. I felt shocked. I felt confused. I felt angry. "Then why are you walking your dog?" I asked. "You need a bag." He shrugged, just shrugged, like it was nothing, like my problem was not important. Then he turned and walked away. I stood there. I could not move. I felt angry. I felt very angry. But also, I felt small. I felt like he did not care about me at all. That shrug stayed in my mind. All day. All night. It was not just the dog poop. It was his attitude. He did not care. He did not respect me. He did not respect my home. The next morning, I saw the same thing again. I stood at my door. I looked at it. I did not move. I felt tired. I felt frustrated. I felt like something inside me was growing, something heavy. I thought, why should I clean this? Why should I accept this? I tried to be nice. I talked to him. I gave him a chance. But he did not care. That made me feel worse. For a few days, I said nothing. I just watched. Every morning, the same man. The same dog. The same problem. Sometimes he looked at his phone. Sometimes he looked at the sky. But he never looked at the ground for long. He never stopped. He never cleaned. I started to notice small things. His shoes were always clean. His clothes were nice. He looked like a normal person, a polite person. But his actions were not polite. Not at all. That made me think a lot. People can look nice. People can sound nice. But actions are important. Actions show the truth. I felt angry again. One morning, I stepped in it. It was a small step, just one wrong step, but it was enough. I looked down at my shoe. I felt sick. I felt angry. I felt done. I can't live like this, I said to myself. I cleaned my shoe. I washed it for a long time. But the feeling stayed. The anger stayed. That was the moment something changed inside me. I was not going to ignore this anymore. I was not going to stay quiet. I was not going to let someone treat my home like this. I went back inside. I sat down. I thought for a long time. I asked myself, what can I do? I did not want to fight. I did not want to shout. I wanted something simple, something clear, something that would make him understand. I looked at my hands. I looked at my door. I looked outside again. And slowly an idea came to my mind. A simple idea, a quiet idea, but maybe a strong idea. I took a deep breath. I will fix this, I said softly. And for the first time in many days, I felt a small smile on my face. The next morning, I woke up early again. But this time, I did not feel calm. I did not feel peaceful. I felt ready. I felt focused. I felt like I had a plan. I sat at my table and drank my coffee slowly. I looked at the clock again and again. I was waiting. I was thinking. My idea was simple, but I was not sure. Would it work? Would it make things better? Or worse? I did not know. But I knew one thing. I could not do nothing. After I finished my coffee, I put on my shoes and went outside. The air was cool. The street was quiet. Everything looked normal. Too normal. Then I saw it again, right next to my mailbox. Fresh. New. Like always. I looked at it for a long time. I felt angry again. But this time, I did not feel confused. I did not feel weak. I felt clear. Okay, I said softly. Let's do this. I went back inside and opened a drawer in my kitchen. I took out a small box. It was empty. I needed something else. So I left my house and walked to a small store near my street. It was not far. I walked fast. My mind was busy. I kept thinking about that man, his face, his shrug, his voice. I don't have a bag. Those words stayed in my head again and again. At the store, I went to the pet section. I looked around. Then I saw them, dog waste bags, many bags in one box. Cheap, simple. I picked up one box. Then I stopped. I thought again. Then I picked up another box. If he doesn't have a bag, I said quietly, I have many. I paid and walked back home. I felt strange, a little nervous, a little excited. When I got home, I stood near my door for a moment. I looked at the ground again. The same problem was still there. I opened the box slowly. I took out one bag. Then I took a deep breath. Okay, Daniel, I said to myself. You can do this. I walked to the mailbox. I bent down slowly. I tried not to think too much. I used the bag and picked it up. It was not nice. It was not fun. But I did it. I tied the bag tight, very tight. Then I stood up and looked down the street. I knew where he lived. I had seen him before, a few houses away, a small gray house with a white door. I started walking. Each step felt heavy. My heart was beating fast again. I felt strange. Was this right? Was this wrong? I don't know, I said softly, but he needs to understand. When I reached his house, I stopped. I looked around. No one was outside. The street was quiet again. I walked to his door. I looked at it. I held the bag in my hand. Then, slowly, I placed it on the ground, right in front of his door. I stepped back. I looked at it for a second. There, I said. This is yours. Then I turned and walked back home. All day, I kept thinking about it. I felt nervous. I felt a little scared. What if he gets angry? What if he comes to my house? What if there is a problem? But also, I felt something else. I felt strong. For the first time, I was not just waiting. I was not just accepting the problem. I was doing something. The next morning, I woke up again. I walked to my mailbox. And yes, it was there again. I closed my eyes for a second. I felt tired. I felt annoyed. He still doesn't care, I said quietly. But I did not stop. I went inside. I took another bag. I came back. I picked it up again. I tied it again. Then I walked to his house again. This time, I did not feel as nervous. My steps were stronger. My hands were steady. I placed the bag in the same spot, right in front of his door. Then I walked away. Day 3 came. I woke up. I already knew what I would see. And I was right. Same place, same problem. I felt a deep sigh leave my body. Again, I said. But again, I did the same thing. Bag, pick up, tie, walk, drop. Each day, the same steps, the same actions. But something started to change. On day 3, I felt like someone was watching me. When I walked to his house, I looked around. I felt it, that feeling, like eyes on my back. I placed the bag down and turned quickly. But no one was there. Still, I knew something was different. He knew. He had to know. On day 4, I woke up with a strange feeling. a mix of worry and hope. I walked outside, and yes, it was still there. I shook my head slowly. "You are really like this," I said. "You really don't care." But again, I did not stop. I followed my plan, step by step. But this time, when I reached his house, I saw something new. The bag from yesterday was gone. I stopped. I looked at the ground, clean. I felt a small smile. "So you saw it," I said softly. That made me feel better. That made me feel like I was not invisible. He knew, he understood something, but still he did not change. Day 5. Same story, same mess, same actions. But now I felt something different inside me. I felt patient. I felt calm. I felt like I was teaching him something. Slowly, quietly, not with words, not with shouting, but with actions. Simple actions. On day 6, something finally happened. I woke up, I walked outside, I looked at the ground, and nothing. I blinked. I looked again. Nothing. No mess. No problem. I stood there for a long time. I felt surprised. I felt happy. I felt light. Did he stop? I asked myself. I looked down the street. It was empty. I walked closer to the mailbox. Still clean. For the first time in many days, I smiled freely, but I was not sure. "Maybe just today," I said. "Maybe tomorrow it will come back." So I waited. The next morning, I woke up again. I felt nervous again. I walked outside slowly, and again, nothing. Clean, fresh, peaceful. I felt my heart relax. I felt my body relax. "He learned," I said quietly. "He finally learned." But later that day, something unexpected happened. There was a knock on my door. I froze for a moment. My heart started beating fast again. I walked slowly to the door. I opened it. And there he was. The man with the dog. He stood there looking at me. His face was not calm this time. His face was serious. "You need to stop," he said. I looked at him quietly. "Stop what?" I asked. He pointed down the street. "You know what you're doing." I crossed my arms slowly. I felt calm. Very calm. "I only return what is yours," I said. He looked at me, his eyes narrow. "That is childish," he said. I felt a small fire inside me again. Childish? I took a deep breath. "No," I said softly. "What is childish is leaving your problem at my house." He said nothing for a moment. The air felt heavy. Something big was about to happen. We stood there in silence. The air felt heavy. I could hear my own breathing. Slow, loud. I felt calm, but also ready. Ready for anything. He looked at me with hard eyes. I could see he was not happy. His face was tight. His hands were closed. He looked like he wanted to say many things. "You could just talk to me," he said again. I almost laughed, but I did not. I stayed calm. "I did talk to you," I said. "I talked to you the first day. Do you remember?" He did not answer. I continued slowly. "I asked you to clean it. I asked you one simple thing, but you walked away." He looked down for a second. Just 1 second. Then he looked back at me. "I didn't have a bag," he said again. I shook my head. "That is not an answer," I said. "That is not a solution." I felt my voice getting stronger. Not loud, but clear. "If you don't have a bag, then don't let your dog do it in front of my house," I said. "Or carry a bag. It is simple." He sighed. A long, tired sigh, like he was the one with the problem. "You made this bigger than it is," he said. I felt something rise inside me again. That feeling, that fire. "No," I said. "You made this bigger. You started it. I just gave it back." We stood there again, quiet, still. Then he looked away. He rubbed his face with his hand. He looked tired now. Not angry, just tired. "I didn't think it was a big deal," he said quietly. That sentence hit me in a strange way. Not a big deal. I looked at him. I studied his face. He was not smiling now. He was not proud. He looked unsure. "It is a big deal to me," I said. My voice was softer now. "It is my home, my space." He nodded slowly, just a small nod. "I get it," he said. I watched him carefully. I wanted to believe him, but I was not sure, not yet. For many days he showed me he did not care. So now I needed to see something different. "I don't want problems," I said. "I just want respect." He nodded again. "Okay," he said. Then he turned and walked away. I closed my door slowly. My hands were a little shaky. I did not expect that. I thought he would be more angry, more loud, but he was not. I sat down on my chair. I looked at the floor. "Is it over?" I asked myself. I did not know. That night I could not sleep well. I kept thinking. I kept asking questions. What if he gets angry again? What if he does it again? What if nothing changes? I felt nervous. I felt unsure. But I also felt something else. I felt a little proud. I spoke. I did something. I did not stay quiet. The next morning came. I woke up slowly. My body felt heavy. My mind was still full. I walked to the door. I stopped for a second. I took a deep breath. Then I opened it. I looked at the ground. Nothing. Clean. I stepped closer. I looked again. Still clean. I felt my shoulders relax. I felt my chest feel light. "Okay," I said softly. "Good." But I did not smile too fast. I did not trust it yet. One day is not enough. The next day came. Again I walked outside. Again I looked down. Nothing. Clean again. Now I smiled a little, just a small smile. "Maybe he really understands," I said. Days started to pass. Day 3, clean. Day 4, clean. Day 5, still clean. Each day, I felt better. Each day, I felt more relaxed. My mornings became peaceful again. I could walk to my mailbox without fear, without looking down every second. I could breathe. I could enjoy the air again. It felt good, very good. One afternoon, I saw him again. He was walking his dog, like always. The same dog, big, calm, slow. But this time, something was different. He had a small bag in his hand. I noticed it right away. I watched him carefully. The dog stopped near my house. My body felt tense again. My eyes focused. The dog started to turn in a circle. I held my breath. Then the man stopped. He waited. He watched his dog. After a moment, he bent down. He used the bag. He cleaned it. I blinked. I could not believe it. He tied the bag. He stood up. Then he looked at me. I was standing near my door, watching everything. We looked at each other for a moment. No words, just a look. Then he gave a small nod. Not big, not dramatic, just small. I nodded back, also small. He turned and walked away. I stood there for a long time. I felt calm. I felt happy. I felt finished. It was over. No more mess. No more problem. No more anger. Just peace. That evening, I sat in my chair again. I drank my coffee slowly. I looked outside. Everything was quiet. Everything was normal again. I thought about the last few weeks, the problem, the anger, the plan, the action. It was not easy. It was not fun. But it worked. Simple action, clear message. I did not shout. I did not fight. I just showed him the problem. And slowly, he understood. I smiled to myself. Sometimes, I said quietly, people don't listen to words. I looked at my hands. Sometimes, they need to see. And in that moment, I felt something very clear inside me. A simple truth. Respect is important. And sometimes you have to stand up to get it. Life became quiet again after that day. My mornings felt soft and easy. I woke up, made my coffee, and walked to my mailbox without worry. I did not look down every step. I did not feel stress. I felt free. I felt calm. Small things can change your day. I learned that. A small problem can grow big, and a small solution can fix it. For many days, everything stayed clean. No mess. No smell. No anger. I started to forget the problem. I started to relax again. But one evening, something unexpected happened. I was sitting near my window. The sun was going down. The sky was orange and pink. It was quiet, peaceful. Then I saw him again. The man with the dog. He was walking slowly, like always. The dog was calm. The street was empty. I watched without thinking too much. It was just normal now. But then, the dog stopped, right near my mailbox. My body became stiff. My heart moved fast again. Not again, I whispered. I stood up slowly. I moved closer to the door. I looked outside. The dog started to turn in a circle. I felt that old feeling come back. That anger, that fear, that stress. But then, something different happened. The man stopped quickly. He looked at the ground. Then he looked at his dog. "Hey," he said softly to the dog. "Not here." His voice was calm but clear. He gently pulled the leash. The dog moved a little. A few steps away from my mailbox. Then the dog stopped again. And this time, It did it on the grass, far from my house. I watched everything. I did not move. I did not speak. The man took out a bag. He bent down. He cleaned it carefully. Then he tied the bag and stood up. I felt my body relax. Slowly, deeply. He turned his head and saw me at the door. For a moment, we just looked at each other again. Then he walked toward me. I felt a little nervous, but I stayed there. I did not go inside. He stopped a few steps away from me. "Hey," he said. "Hey," I answered. There was a small pause, a quiet moment. I just wanted to say, "Sorry," he said. I looked at him. I did not speak yet. "I didn't think about it before," he continued. "I was lazy, I didn't care. But I understand now." His voice was different. Not proud, not cold, just honest. "I see your point," he said. "It's your home. I should respect that." I listened carefully. I felt calm. I felt open. "Thank you," I said slowly. We stood there again. But this time, the silence felt different. It felt light, not heavy. "I didn't want a problem," he added. "I just didn't think." I nodded. "Sometimes we don't think," I said. "But we can learn." He gave a small smile, just a little. "Yeah," he said. "I learned." Then he looked at the bag in his hand and laughed a little, a soft, short laugh. "I always carry bags now," he said. I smiled too. "That's good," I said. He nodded again. Then he turned and started walking home. I watched him go. I felt peaceful. I felt finished. This time, it was really over. The next days were simple, easy, clean. No problems came back. The street stayed quiet. My mailbox stayed clean. Sometimes I saw him walking his dog. Every time he had a bag. Every time he was careful. Sometimes we said hello. Just a simple hi, nothing more. But that was enough. One weekend, I was cleaning my front yard. Just small things, sweeping, moving some leaves. It was a warm day. The sun was bright. Then I saw him again. He walked by and stopped. "Hey," he said. "Hey," I answered. He looked at my yard. "Looks nice," he said. "Thanks," I said. There was a small pause again. Then he said, "If my dog ever does something again, I will clean it, right away." I nodded. "I know," I said. And I did know. I believed him. He smiled, then walked away. I went back to my work. I felt light. I felt calm. Later that day, I sat outside with my coffee. I looked at the street. I thought about everything again. The problem started small, just one day, just one mess. But it grew, day by day, because nothing changed. Then I changed something. I did not shout. I did not fight. I did something simple. I showed him the problem. I gave it back. Not with anger, not with hate. Just clear, just simple. And in the end, it worked. People don't always listen to words. Sometimes they ignore them. Sometimes they forget them. But actions are strong. Actions stay. I looked at my mailbox again. Clean, quiet. I smiled. I like this, I said softly. Then I took a deep breath and closed my eyes for a moment. Peace feels good. Very good. Before I went inside, I thought about one more thing. A simple lesson. A clear lesson. I said it slowly in my mind. If someone does not respect you, speak first. Stay calm. Be clear. If they still do not listen, show them with action. Not to hurt them, not to fight them, but to teach them. Because respect is not just words. Respect is action. And sometimes a simple action can change everything.